It's May the 1st. May the 1st and May the 4th be with you next week. This is for purposes of recording, so if you do arrive live, I'm gonna just kind of be a little bit rude really and not talk to you today. I'm gonna get straight on with this progress check for May 2021. It's progress check day, so if you have an active calendar and you are tracking your progress, checking in with yourself to see how your moving parts are, here we go. We're going to revisit the progress checks, or maybe it's the first time that you've checked in with a progress check. So either way, just pick up the month that you're at and start collecting your scores in the right place. In addition to the progress checks, I'm going to take you through the May movement, which is two actually, heel raises and toe raises. They come as a pair. So we've got the shin muscles and the muscles at the back of the lower leg, all supporting to improve strength, movement around the ankles. So without further ado, let's progress with the progress check. And the first thing to do always before any of this is circulation boost. Can you see that here on the camera? It's the circulation boost, almost on the first page of the calendar here. So we're going to take a couple of minutes of circulation boost. I'll give you some standing prompts and some seated prompts. We'll move into the progress checks and then we'll move into the new movement of May. Are you ready? Circ boost to start. Before we get going, make sure your area is clear, floor free from clutter, comfortable footwear, all those things. Have a good look at the movement first, and you may decide to go back round afterwards. Stop it, pause it, take your time as much as you should. I can see there's a few people joining in live, so it's great to have you. I'm just going to say hello to all of you, and let's get on with Circ Boost. Carol Kent, yes, yes they are. Right, so have you got your calendars to hand? We're going to do Circ Boost. I'm going to talk you through all the key prompts. Again, it might be the first time you've joined us. So have a listen first, have a look, decide, do you want to Circ Boost in sit or stand? I'm going to give the seated prompts first today. So we're going to go for 2 minutes or so of movements, steady, comfortable movements that serve to lightly lift the heart rate. So the first thing to do from sit position is come into active sit. Either remain at the back of the chair, or if you have intention to stand up at some point, take a hip walk forward, backside just past centre, anchor the feet and then start this rhythmical movement from the shoulder here. And we generally try a little bit on one side, a little bit on the other, and then bring them together as and when you're ready. It starts steady and stays steady, keeping active in the centre here. If you know you're going to come up to stand at some point, we want to get the legs moving as well. So pausing on the top end, here are the prompts for the bottom end. Just start with a few heel lifts, take up support in the chair, then go for the low lift of the leg. Start steady and stay steady. Either keep it as separate, bit of lower limb, bit of upper limb, or start to build it. So bringing in the legs, bring in one arm, as you can see, requires a little bit more coordination there. And it just starts and ticks over. If you feel your posture muscles getting tired, best thing to do is take a pause and go again. And through all of this, it's your comfortable pace. Knees are low level, and it just feels rhythmical and comfortable to do. Those are the seated prompts. Here's the standing prompts if you haven't already. Have some external support close to hand. Feet are hip width, not too wide. Active centre through the middle, and then start the Circ Boost. And everything really is driven by the feet. We say here on the movement snacks, there's no frills, there's nothing exciting about a circulation boost. It just does what it says on the tin, which is boost the circulation. And if we're about to go through a series of progress checks, or if you're about in daily life to go embark on a task, perhaps in the garden, that's a little bit more effortful than usual, this Circ Boost is really designed to prepare the body for that extra bit of work. So get the heart and lungs more ready, increase the blood flow, a little bit of warmth in the muscles, and all your moving parts will perform better for you. So the circulation boost is on the very first page of the calendar there, and we start every single movement snack with a circulation boost. So same goes for today. We are now going to move on to progress checks. Progress checks here, folks, and we're going to start first with the shoulder mobility. And for this one, you have 4 descriptors. 4 descriptors. Can you get to your ear? Can you get to the back of your head? Can you get to the base of your neck? Or can you get to the kind of between your shoulder blades for like an itch? So in preparation for this one, sit or stand, you choose. You really need to feel really confident in standing position, so balance shouldn't be a concern. So just kind of sit yourself down maybe. I can move a bit further away here. Come into active sit first of all, maybe put in a few shoulder rolls just to prepare. Maintain this activeness in the middle part. Keep the head lifted, and then taking probably your stronger or your better arm first. Basically the side that's going to feel the easiest. Keeping the head still. How far can you get your hand? Can you go to your ear, to the back of your head, to the base of the neck, or lower down? And then slowly come out and pause. So you're easing into these positions, and then pause, take it up on the other side. So keeping the elbow low for as long as you can. This is kind of the most effective way to get round there. If you get to your ear, then the score is 1. If you get back to the back of the head, the score is 2. Base of the neck is 3. Fingertips between your shoulder blades is a 4. So scores on the doors. Come slowly out of that each time as well. If you feel that you could have gone a little bit further, perhaps having done that warm-up one, maybe go back round again one more time. Do check that as the fingertips come up and round, there isn't any strange things happening to the head position. And by that I mean, what we're looking for is to keep the head here rather than bend the head. We're not looking to force these movements. So how far can you comfortably get? Clock your score and slowly come out. That's shoulder mobility. Next one we're going to do is back of thigh. There's 5 descriptors for this one. You can reach the knee, you can reach the top of shin, can reach to mid shin, can reach to toes, can reach beyond toes. So let's have a go at this one. Sit position for this one, folks. As always with this back of thigh stretch position, sitting tall first of all, this will make the hip walk easier, certainly. Lift and shift, lift and shift. Park up in the middle somewhere, feel comfortable, lift and lengthen. One leg, your better or your more movable or stronger side, easiest side first, the side that you have to think least about first. Knee off the lock, relax the foot, lift and lengthen. So here's your guide, and then easy squeezy down. And actually you might want to do a practice run, so you might want to go slowly down and slowly back, just as a warm-up one, and then go for the real one. And you really are being mindful of keeping lifted through the trunk and the torso. And then when you reach your comfortable point, where did that get to? Slowly come back out. And then look at the descriptors and mark your score. Other leg, little bit of a recovery in between, maybe a slump, bring that leg out again, set it all up again, make sure that you're lifted out of the hips, maybe take a practice run, slowly in, slowly out, just to get yourself in the zone and check in with all those positions of your body, and then go for your score. How far can you comfortably get? Be even more mindful on this one, folks, that you're keeping this straight back position. So we're not looking to bend in the middle. It's a lift down and over. It's our hip hinge position. So that is the back of thigh stretch. Scores on the doors. If you want to give me your scores on the doors, please share. I'm happy to hear scores on the doors. Okay, are we ready? Next one, 4-point balance progress check. So we're on the third one down here. This is a standing balance activity. If you're not feeling steady and stable on your feet today, perhaps give this one a miss and go back through in the week when you're feeling more steady. And it requires 4 different positions of the feet. So feet side by side, 1 foot slightly in front, 2 feet in tandem, 1 leg culminating in the single leg stance. The key point for this one, the idea is you just progress as far as you comfortably can until you can achieve 10 seconds on each position. We don't progress to the next one. So let's work through now those 4 positions. Either have a timer to hand or someone else timing you, or just have a count in your head, a slow count in your head of, we need to be able to count to 10 seconds. You could use 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, I don't know, other place names could be replaced, or get someone on a timer for you. Let's give it a go. 4-point balance. And this one is all about feeling confident in a range of different positions. And in daily life, sometimes we step wider when we're doing tasks. When we walk, our feet are fairly close together. In small spaces like toilets and bathrooms, our feet are even further closer together. So we need to be prepared for and feel confident to have our feet in a range of different positions. And it's really a great, a significant consideration for feeling steady on feet. So before we start, have a look at mine first and maybe go back round after for this, whatever you're confident with. Our first position is having feet side by side. So I'm going to put my hand on some external support, maybe something higher if that's more comfortable for you. I'm going to be face on here so you can see what's happening. So from my normal, usual confident stance, hand on the table, and I'm going to bring the feet closer together, almost close together like so. Hand is on here, stand up tall. I'm aiming to stand here for 10 seconds, ideally without my hand on that external support. So for example, it could look like this. Hand away, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. When I've had enough, I step out. So that would score 4 seconds. If you feel confident to just take those fingertips away, but there to hover at any point, if you want to put the hand on the table or adjust feet to feel balanced, that is the end point, the end. Now, if you achieve 10 seconds here, 8, 9, 10, end of test for that position. If you've successfully achieved 10, you can move on to the next position. If you haven't successfully achieved 10 yet, that is the end point for your 4-point balance progress check. So you may or may not progress to the next position. The next position is from our close feet side by side, outside leg is going to take a small step. My heel is in line with my toe. There, if I turn sideways, you'll see better. So it's this position. So slightly offset. And there again we start the count. Take the step, weight across both feet. This is important, so make sure you've got 50-50 even weight. Stand up tall, lengthened and active in the middle, and then when you're ready, fingertips come away and you start your count. Slow count of 10 in your head. If you achieve 10, step out. If you don't achieve 10 yet, how many seconds did you achieve? And write it in the score. What you might want to do for this one is a left and right forward leg. So get your score for that position with legs slightly forward, and then you might want to repeat it with the other leg slightly forward. That's an extra that you might want to put in there. So might be a difference in how confident you feel to have different leg forward. Third position is our tightrope position. So one foot directly in front of the other, and you've got a little gap, a small gap between the front toe and the back heel. So have a look here, little gap between, there's the position. Do make sure that you shift the weight across both legs and you've got a bit of a knee bend. Doing all of this with a hand on support so you feel confident. If you feel confident to hover the fingertips away, your 10-second count starts there. Again, counting when you feel the need to either step out to balance or hand to the support. So ideally you're looking to use the feet to regain balance, but we've got our hands on here if you would need. And again, you might want to change left leg forward, right leg forward. So make a note on your records which way round, which was your front foot. The fourth position of the full balance progress check is standing on one leg. Remember, we're not looking to progress to the next position until you've achieved a full 10 seconds of the position prior. So the single leg stance here, the leg farthest from the support is the leg that's just going to just take a pick up like so, keep it close to the floor, up tall, start your 10-second count with fingertips just hovering, and if you need to, put the foot down. So we're coming from a position of balance, holding on here. It's okay to feel wobbly. So if it looks or feels wobbly like this is good, this is okay. This means you're controlling that balance challenge. If the challenge becomes too much, we step out and regain balance. So to improve balance, we need to challenge balance, and feeling wobbly is really what we'd expect to feel during these stages of the full balance progress check. So if you haven't made it to the single leg, that's okay. Just work on that position that was just a little bit challenging but achievable and manageable. And we step out at every point in time where we feel we need even more support. That's your 4-point balance check. Scores on the doors go in here. Remember, you might want to take different counts with the left and the right leg stepping forward. It might be a significant difference for lots of reasons. All right, we're on the fourth and final check before I just take you through maze movement. Chair rise progress check, last one on here. This is a more kind of strength-based activity, and we're going to look at the sit to stand or the jockey lift, looking to see how many times you can comfortably perform a jockey lift or a sit to stand in 30 seconds. So I've got a 30-second timer here. Either have a watch through and do it again later in your own time, or feel free to join in on my 30-second count today if you like. Things of note here: each time you do this progress check, use the same chair. The height of the chair will greatly affect the ease of stand. It changes the angles of your legs. So try and do it in the same chair each time, and ideally it's a chair of knee height. Here's one I prepared earlier. So I've got my timer. Let me just take you through the options here for the 30-second chair rise. Hope you can see slightly on an angle. Options here. Hip walk forward. If you're still working towards improving and feeling confident in this movement, you might want to go for the jockey lift option. Have a look at this. Backside forward just past centre. Heels come back and down a bit and in contact with the floor. So we're pressing the heels into the floor. Lifting out the hips, so we've got this strong torso position. Fingertips on the side of the chair or the arms of the chair. We've got this momentum here, so this shift of the trunk, nose over toes and pushing up. So your jockey lift might look like this. So we can confidently just lift the buttocks and replace them to the chair, and you'll feel lots of activity in the thighs. As you feel more confident, as you get more stronger, we can go a little bit higher until you feel confident to take the full stand. You still might want some support close to hand. You might check your balance when you get to the top end. You might want an extra adjustment here with the feet, and then slowly down to sit. If you're confident with a chair rise, we're looking for a push on the way up and a controlled sit on the way down without a plonk. No plonking. So it's a push, a drive up to stand, tall confident stand, slowly down. Any adjustments you need at this top end, take those, feel steady and stable before you return to sit. Are you ready? I'm going to give you a 30-second count. Pick which option you want to go for. Other options could be if you do a few jockey lifts, maybe 2 or 3 of those, just to continue through the 30 seconds, maybe just revert back to those buttock squeezes. So get as much as you can from this progress check as well. Right, so pick what you're going to do. Jockey lift, sit to stand, or buttock squeezes. I'm going to give you a 30-second count. Take this with us now or do it in your own time at a later date. Are we ready? Off we go. I'll just take the first few with you. See how you feel, so you should be confident. Keep those heels down into the floor. Make sure you finish off the job, so stand fully and confidently. If you're on a jockey lift, just take a little pause between each one. Feel recovered. You need a little bit more gusto on the way up. 3, 2, 1, and there is the end. How many did you do? Goes in here, in your May number here. That is the progress checks done. If you feel that you're kind of towards the kind of ceiling, the kind of highest number that is achievable, there's some other options on those chair progress checks that we could progress to, and I'm going to talk about those probably in tomorrow's noonday. All right, that's your progress checks done. Let's just move on now to May's movement. These will be familiar already with many of you if you're a seasoned movement snacker, but you might be new, so I'm going to go through this. So the idea is we focus on one particular movement each month, just to try to crowbar it into your day. If nothing else, perhaps you don't join us for the movement snacks on a regular basis, but kind of just have a focus to crowbar that movement in throughout the month. And this month we've got heel raises and toe raises. Here we go. Sit and stand opposite and stand options. I'm going to go for the sit options first. Here we go. So remember, we can get the ankles, the feet and toes ready from seated movements for legs, but what we don't have is the body weight to kind of really progress that strength. But it's certainly a great start. So here's the heel raise seated option. Backside just past centre, active and lifted in the sit position. Bring the heels back a little bit, so they're just behind the knees. Feet are hip width apart, so hip width position is there, okay? And then the heel raise is here. Take your time, pushing up, a little pause at the top end, and then lower with control. Other thing to think about is to keep the weight over the big toe and the second toe. So as you push the heels up, press the big toe and the second toe down and keep the chest lifted. And we're trying to get more activity into those calf muscles. And in the calendar, we're saying 1, 3 or 5 times frequently throughout the day. Can you feel, and even after a few here, you'll start to feel the muscles in the calves working. So that's the calf muscles, looking to strengthen the ankle joint and will affect all standing activities. Let's now switch to the toe raises. Now, did you see there I changed my leg position? So the heel raises are heels behind the knees. The toe raises, we need to step a little bit further forward, like so. And now the toe raises are here. The further forward, or kind of find your way, if you take the feet a little bit further forward, you'll get more movement. You'll get even more lift from those toes. So do check that your feet are slightly forward of the knees. It's a lift and a pause and a lower with control. And you'll start to feel the shin muscles working for you. Goes without saying, we need both of those ranges of motion. We need the shin muscles and the muscles behind the shins to work for fundamentally our stepping actions, picking up the feet as we walk to clear the floor. So that's the sit options. The stand options, heel raises, are the same, but of course, because we're in stand and because we're reducing contact with the ground, these two have potential to challenge your balance. They will challenge your balance to a lesser or greater degree. We don't really want to challenge balance in this instance. We want to build a little bit more strength. So for this reason, we take up lots of supports. So have that external support probably to the front of you for this one. Feet are hip width apart. Upright postures here. Just take a couple just to test, just to shift the heels up, just to get your balance and feel confident. Make sure you've got enough support with the hands here, and then go for the push, but slowly lower, a little bit slower on the way down. And as I just mentioned in the chair option, check that when you push the heels up, that your ankles are really straight and strong, and shift the weight over to the big toe and the second toe. So just be aware that you're not rolling out to the little toes. Have a glance down, check that your hip width no wider, go for the push and a slow return. Use external support. We're looking to build some strength here, which will contribute also to balance. Just to feel the differences, you just might want to feel how different it is if you do that with a little bit more pace and less control, and you'll have less activity going on. So that slow return is the key. Push up, slow on the way down. Now the toe raises in stand. Have a really good think about how you're going to use external supports here. Make sure that you have something probably sufficient height, maybe hip height here, so that when you pick the toes up, you know that you've got a lot of support here if you need it. Other options could be have some support also behind you, just to give you that extra confidence to pick up the toes. Of course, picking up the toes has potential to challenge the balance, so you might, before this one, also want just to check, take a couple of backward steps just to feel confident that you can regain balance if you need to. Hands on the chair here. Keep your buttocks in, toes up, toes down. So take it fairly small and fairly quick for the first one. Feel balanced, feel confident that you can get those toes down, and then can you go a little bit higher and spend longer bringing the toes down. Use lots of external support for this one, really trying to build the strength here in the front of the shin muscles. That's it, heel raises, toe raises. All we're saying is take some of those 1 or 3 times each time across your day. Makes sense to do that perhaps when you're in a room where there's a fixed surface. Kitchens are the obvious ones, work surface, sinks, those types of things. That's it, that's your May movements done. We'll see you in June for upper back strengthener. For now, I will see you in a movement snack at noon. For now, let us know how your progress checks went, folks. We'll get this up onto YouTube as well. So if you know people that are on YouTube watching these, we have a dedicated channel for the dedicated playlist for the calendar moves. So we'll get May up there soon, and in a few more months we'll have a full set. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, hoping that was helpful. Do share your progress with us. I'll see you on a movement stack maybe.